Hello, you wonderful people. Today is a very hot day, and it's getting even hotter now. So I had to turn out the fan. So for this voiceover, so it's a one take only because I can't endure this heat. It's awful. What I was painting today was the red-eared slider. It's a turtle, and its German name is very beautiful actually. It's the Rotwangen-Schmuckschildkröte. Literally translated, it's the red-cheeked jewelry turtle, and I kinda like that. The red-eared slider is native to southern US or northern Mexico, but due to it being sold as pets all over the world, it became an invasive species and is at home mostly everywhere. At least I know that there are colonies of the red-eared slider in Germany too. So don't throw away your turtles. Keep them as pets. They are cute. The turtles live up to 30 years long, and when having such a pet, you have to be sure that you want to keep it. But I didn't want to talk about turtles only. I have chosen a turtle to paint for this one because I like to challenge myself once in a while. And one of the most challenging things for me is to paint water and reflections and water surface, bubbles, but also glass with its reflections. Because I don't think if there's a rule in these reflections that can occur, but I know that glass or water surfaces aren't always very straight, so the reflections are wild. And here I had a reference photo that I have shown you in the video too, where you can see that this turtle is coming out of the water. So there are many things in this picture that are challenging to me. First of all, it's the water reflections, where the turtle breaks the water, but also the wetness of the turtle itself. Then there are the bubbles. Of course, there's also the unsharp edges of the turtle parts that are still beneath the water, that I too wanted to add to the painting. And then there is this wild, stripy pattern of the turtle itself. Have you noticed? It looks like it has a mustache. And all of this in one painting, and I just needed to try my best to paint this one. Also, this turtle has beautiful eyes. I have never had a turtle as a pet, and I don't think that I have ever touched one myself in real life. I know I have touched snakes, but well, never a turtle. There's something I have to accomplish in my life. Touch turtles. Not in the wild though. So, what I did was first make the first layers of the turtle underneath the water. Of course I needed a sketch that was quite detailed just to see where I have to add the patterns and the stripes on the turtle's face. Of course I needed to keep in mind that the patterns underneath the water and above the water surface are slightly off and they look different. Also, the colors in this one, in the reference photo, are quite dramatic. There's a lot of black, and I didn't want to have that much black in my painting. But I had to use black in this one for the darkest parts. I think, all in all, I managed to paint this quite well. It's not perfect. I don't see it to being perfect. But I knew in the beginning, even before I started this painting, that I had to use quite some techniques to finish this one. For the soft part of the reflection, I used the lifting technique. Some parts I just left white during the painting process, and other reflections I added using white ink in the end. I had to plan all of this ahead before I started to paint or to put any paint on the painting. If I had done it otherwise, I might have needed to correct it or make a workaround. So it's not good to know your techniques and paints to see what you can do with them and what you can't do with them. I knew that some of the paints I used on the turtle shell, I don't know if it's called shell, wouldn't lift completely. But that's good, because even on the reference photo you can see through the soft reflection above the head of the turtle the patterns of the shell, and that's what you can do too in the painting. The hard white reflections were added with white ink, and they're okay because you can't see through these whites, not in the reference photos. As you may know, I use reference photos a lot. They are great for practice, but I also went off a little bit. I have added the patterns a little bit differently, and I have added the bubbles in other spaces too. But I think that reference photos are necessary if you want to make somewhat of a realistic art. But I also think that they are necessary to get some things right that you just have probably problems to imagine in your mind. Because I don't necessarily know how reflections of water or glass would look on certain objects when I just paint them from my mind. I know that there are some kind of rules, and I know where they probably would be, but it's so easy to go wrong with those. All in all, I'm quite happy with this turtle, and it took me so much time to paint this one. I didn't think that it would do that. I was a little bit disencouraged in the middle of the process when it came to the face because of the patterns, and it just looks so wild when you see these turtles. They have so many stripes and details in their faces, and the reference photo was quite dark to see like the nose and everything, so I had to look up other reference photos to see what I can do and what I can add in my painting. All in all, I'm happy with this one. I like the eye. I had a little bit difficulties with the eye because I was too impatient and it bled a lot, so I had to save it a little bit. But I really like this green, golden, shiny color that it has. I also like the red of the cheeks or ears, depending on what language you want to choose. And it was quite a nice mixture. To get this a little bit dulled down red, I love to use either Zap Green or Green Gold, because they dull down reds beautifully. And in the end, as I already told you, added the white details. The part where I add the white details, I have left in real time for you to see how long, or not long at all, it took me to make these. It depends on how you see time. In fact, when I'm painting, time runs by. Sometimes I just start a little painting as I think to myself, and wake up from the painting process 5 or 6 hours later just to see that I'm only half done. The videos that you see are mostly sped up to 10 times, so it really doesn't show how long I sometimes need to paint one of these animals. I know that Nasreen made a video recently about perception of time and the sped up videos that we watch on YouTube. And I really love to watch the speed paints, and I know, because I paint myself, that it takes the artist so much time to paint those. But I'm not sure if everyone sees it like that, especially if, and I had some comments too from people who want to start with watercolor. It can seem like just a short process, that it takes not a lot of time to make these, but it actually takes a lot of time. And you have to know that there were years of practice before I started painting these, and even here, as you can see, I'm still practicing things and animals, and I'm sure that 10 years from now, if I painted this one 10 years from now, it would be so much better. This is what I can do now, and if you stay with me for another 10 years, we can do another turtle, and we can see how the other one will turn out. Well, this could be a thing. Paint a turtle every 10 years. Oh, sorry. The heat. It's crazy. So, I'm also sorry that I rambled about things that just go through my mind. And thank you if you stuck with me for all this time. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Have a great day. Bye.